Hey guys, what's up? It's Alana with AZ Tech Doctors back with another video. Today we are going to be repairing some PS5 controllers that are not working. The issue with this one is going to be that it's not turning on or powering on. It'll flash a little orange light, but nothing else will happen. Then it'll completely turn off, plugged in or not. And then this other one the customer wanted us to check out. I did notice some broken sensors around here. And a couple of other things that we need to check out, maybe some gunk we need to clean. But yeah. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started with this one. So we're just going to start taking it apart. We're going to see what's going on. Right now, if we plugged it into a cord, let me grab a cord that we can plug it into. I'm just going to use this PS5 that we have just repaired to kind of show what's going on. Plug that in, we get a little blue flash, then it's orange, and then you cannot touch anything else. It'll fade out, blink a little bit, nothing will let me go. On the PlayStation, it does not give me any input or anything like that, so this controller is not working at the moment. So we'll just get into taking it apart and figuring out what's going on with it. So first we're going to start with taking off the case to get to the parts. I have this little spludger here that we're just going to pop up this side corner and we'll go around the edge. Get both edges up. Perfect. There we go. Okay, pop just right up. We should be able to pop this up. It looks like these gold platings, the customer did say that he had replaced these. So it looks like we might actually have to take those off to get to the rest of this. So let's go ahead and get those off real quick. Alright, there we go. So we got this piece off right here. We'll place that off to the side. And then looking at this, looks like we have two screws here in both of these corners here that we're going to need to take off. Looks like they're standard Phillips screwdrivers, so we'll go ahead and grab our screwdriver here. And if you'd like to buy this toolkit here as well, there will be a link in our bio. It's got a whole bunch of pieces, an electro screwdriver as well. I won't be using that today just because I think for this one it'll be a little bit easier to kind of see through hand, but that will be in our bio. I'll just go ahead and get these off real quick. Perfect, so we got one screw there, and I have a little screw holder over here that I will be putting all of my screws on. It's a little magnetic screw holder, so I don't lose any. All right. And those, both those screws. So we should be able to pop this off now. We use our little splitter again. Just go around the edges. And kind of pull it up a little bit. Not pulling super hard on it, just enough to get it up. And then just going around the edges, try and pop this up. And there's also these two clips in front that you'll have to unclip as well. There we are. Perfect. And there should be some more clips around the edges that we'll just need to go ahead and try and pop up and off. Perfect. All right, and then we should be able to just lift and kind of twist the edge off. Do it this way. And as it comes up, just being super mindful of all the parts and everything. Looks like we might have another clip back here. Taking a little bit of maneuvering to get out. There we go. I threw that one at myself. There's two more screws right here that we need to undo. All right, now it should come off easy. Again, just pull up and twist it a little bit. Should come up fairly easy. Looks like we got a couple things stuck here. There we go. All right. Took a little bit of effort, but we got that on there. So first we're just going to take this battery out. Go ahead and pop that out. Should just come up in one piece. Yep, there we are. We'll place that off to the side for now. Should be able to get to this piece. There's a screw right in the middle of it, so we'll unscrew that. Perfect. And then we'll just pull this out carefully. There is also a camera attached to this cable as well, so we'll have to pull that out very gently. I'm gonna grab some tweezers to help me with this part. So we'll grab onto this little helper back here. Let's pull that ribbon cable out. There we go. Looks like the sensor also did come out as that, on that as well, but I'll just pop that back in there. Place that over to the side with all of our other pieces. And then, so what we're looking for is anything to this button up here, which I believe will be on the other side of the board, which you should be able to take out. So we'll just unclip all of these ribbon cables real quick. I'll use my tweezers to help me with the other side. This side I won't, actually. There we go. And then one more over here for the other side of the controller as well. Perfect. You need to be very careful here because it is still connected to some wires. So we want to be very gentle, very careful here. Okay. Alright, so it looks like I'm kind of seeing the issue here right now. Let me move the camera and I'll show you what I'm seeing. Alright, so what we got here, this is the connector for the power button right there. And I mean, you can kind of see there's a little bit of potentially some gunk or something like that on that left corner, but that's not all I'm concerned about. The connection to it is right here, and normally this would be laying over these kind of clips back here, as you can see. They would be laying over that very nicely and pretty, but we got some damage on here. So, and when I found it, the kind of connectors were a little bit down like that. So we will see. I'm gonna put this back on here, how it's supposed to be, and then we will go ahead and take a look and see if that fixes it. I'm going to take a look under the microscope as well to see if I can see anything on these pins. We'll give it a good clean with some isopropyl alcohol and then re-plug it in and see if that power button works. So I'm just using some Q-tips and a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. I'm not going to pour it directly on the board. I'm just going to get my Q-tip wet pretty decently. And I'm going to grab my air dryer as well. And we're just going to do a little bit of cleanup on this. Blow that part with a little bit of oil. Make sure it's nice and dry. And then we'll do the same to this connector down here. And just gently wipe it with some alcohol, clean up all around there, make sure nothing's left behind. I'm going to dry that off as well. Alright, let's go plug all this back in and test it out real quick before we put it all back together, and then we'll see what's happening with it. Alright, so we're just going to put this back in, get all those connectors plugged back in, and then we will take a look and see if that fixed our issue. So we will just plop this back in here, being super mindful and careful of all the cables, making sure they're all out and not tucked underneath anything. There we go. Make sure those buttons and everything are pushed through. There we are. Alright, so now we will get everything plugged back in real quick. Alright, so continue getting this plugged in. Cable goes right here. Push that in. And we got one cable that goes in here. Use my tweezers to help me out with this one a little bit. There we are. Just get it over there. Then we will push that one in. Make sure it's all connected. We have one down here that goes in this cable. Right here. And then another side for these ribbon cables as well. One thing to note as well, this ribbon cable is a little damaged. It should be fine. When we plug it in, we'll test it, see if we get that power button connected and good, and then we'll test the controller out. We will go ahead and plug that in there. All those are connected. We're going to grab our screw here so everything stays where it needs to be. Go. We will screw this board in so it doesn't go anywhere. Doesn't need to be too tight, just tight enough. You want to make sure that board is all the way down or it won't screw in correctly. Had to do a take two here. There we go. Throw that screw in there. And tighten it up. That'll keep the board nice and snug for us. And then we also have the sensor here as well. So we will go ahead and pop on and get that connected. And make sure it is in its spot correctly. There we are. And then we'll plug this battery in. That's all connected. And then I'm just going to throw on this back cover just so nothing falls out or slips out of place. And then before I do anything else from here, I'm just going to real quick test it out. So we're going to plug it in and let's see if that power button will work. It's plugged in. Press the power button. It is holding solid blue colors, so I'm going to see if I can get connected to the PS5 I have plugged into. I can't remember what button it is. Might be connected. Yep, okay. So, alright, so we have our controller plugged in here. You can't see the lights at the moment, but touching the controller, I have a PS5 plugged up here. We can add a new user, do all that. It's working. So that should be good. We have lights coming on here now. Probably because it's just charging, it's probably giving us a little bit of a error on it. But we'll let it charge up for a little bit and then confirm and make sure that it's still working. Alright, I'm going to continue putting the rest of this back together, and I'll just show you where all the screws I took out are and everything like that. So first off, we have 2 screws right here that I took out, some more back here. We'll make sure this is completely turned off so we don't have any issues. Turn that off, perfect. Okay, disconnected, all of that. So we're just going to put our 2 screws here, 2 screws here. And then we just want to also make sure while we're screwing all these in that everything's sitting nice and flush how it needs to be. There's 2 clips in the front you want to make sure are clipped and not moving around or anything. And then we'll put these 2 back screws in as well. Alright, so I got those screws in. So now I'm just going to pop in these back trigger buttons here. Want to make sure I'm putting them on the correct sides and they're facing the correct way. So this one's going to be our right side. We'll go ahead and throw this one on here. There we go. And I'll just pop that back in. Make sure it's all good. We'll do that for the other side as well. Make sure it's facing the correct way and pop that back in. Perfect. And then we're just going to pop this front piece back on as well. Make sure we get underneath the cover that the customer has on here. And then just be super delicate, try and get it around where it needs to go. And then just pop those clips back in place. And there you have it. So we'll plug this in one more time, take a look. Lights came on. We'll press that power button. Blue lights came on, and we are able to move around and use the controller. All right, this was a pretty successful repair, pretty easy. We just had to go in and clean up the power button cables, and that pretty much fixed the issue. We're able to use the controller, and the customer should be very happy with this repair. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know how I'm doing. The more likes this video gets, the more I can be on camera. So please let us know how we're doing. And thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.